Well, it's certainly been a long time since I've recorded one of these. And you're just gonna have to forgive my fucking froggy throat. I got on the piss last night and was shouting and laughing and just having a bloody good time. So, yeah, can't talk today. And I'm driving along and fell down a rabbit hole as I do. I really delight in thinking of words and giving them meaning within a societal context. Because at the end of the day, my true passion is people and how splendidly fucking weird we all are. And I got thinking about the difference between someone being weird and someone being complicated. And that's what threw me down a bit of a rabbit hole. I'm not sure how others feel about it, but for me, those two things, when applied to the human psyche, are different. They're not mutually exclusive, meaning they share some similarities, but I think that there are distinct differences between someone that I would describe as weird or strange. And even within that right there, I'm just thinking of all the different kinds of weird and strange there are. And then someone who's complicated. I've met this person who I would and I have described as just fucking gorgeously weird. And I would describe myself that way, to be honest, in many ways. Like, I just don't fit. I talked about it a lot. Well, I don't know which fucking article I talked about it. Maybe I didn't. It might have been one of those things that I wrote about and decided not to publish. But I'm not fucking normal. I'm just not. And when I say that, people are like, oh, but what is normal? Summer? What is normal? No one's normal. Okay. But there are a socially accepted set of parameters that every human is expected to go through in life. I might have mentioned this in Cosmic Conditionings. We are expected to date, to fuck up a lot when we're kids, to fall in love, to be part of social media in this day and age, to own and watch television, to see, I'm even struggling to figure out what it is fucking normal people do, because I don't do it. You know, like, go out with friends, have a house, you know, white picket fence and 2.5 kids and dogs and shit. Like, I spent so much of my life beating myself up for the fact that I just didn't fit. All this to say, and to analyze, what is weird? Like, when I think of someone as weird, I think you just accept it. Like, when we meet someone that's just wholeheartedly fucking strange, like, we cannot figure them out. It's not that they're complicated as such. It's just that, like, you just gotta leave it. You just gotta be like, you know what? They're just fucking weird. And you either accept that about them, and that becomes an endearing part of the relationship that you have with that person, or you decide that they're too fucking weird. Like, they go, you know, someone who lines a fucking helmet with aluminum foil so squirrels can't read their thoughts because they think that they're government spies. Like, that's not a level of weird I'm gonna accept in a relationship. Friendship or otherwise. But there are definitely weird characteristics that are extremely endearing. Like, I don't know, I'm thinking everything about myself, basically. Okay, so maybe I'll elaborate on that. What about me is weird? Well, the fact that I was born in the US and never felt like I was home. Most people feel like they belong where they're born. I never did. I never fucking did. I never wanted to be there. I never felt like I belonged there. I say never, but it probably was a distinct age where I was just like, I don't feel like I'm part of this. Whatever this collective is, I just don't want any part of it. And I had anxiety for a lot of reasons, but that was definitely a contributing factor. So what's weird about me? I don't own a television. I meditate every day. Well, I try to. Jeez, some days I don't. But even if I don't meditate mindfully, I'll just sit on my couch and stare at my ceiling or pet my cat and stare off into space. Like, I'd rather do that than a lot of other things, to be honest. I exercise for like 2 hours every day. Apparently that's not normal. And my favorite thing to eat is broccoli and popcorn. Not together. That would be weird. I get up at 4 a.m. because I love it. And I go to sleep at like 8 because I love that too. I don't think there's anything better than a pair of fuzzy socks on my feet because they just make me feel awesome. I sing and dance sporadically. I make myself laugh a lot because there's a lot of shit going on in my head that can't come out my mouth anymore. Caveat anymore, because apparently what I say can be quite shocking and or offensive to people. So I've learned to some degree to keep it in. But yeah, I make myself laugh a lot. I'm good at keeping my own company. I'm really independent. And when I stop being that, I stop being myself, and pretty much everything fucking falls over for me. These are the things about myself that other people kind of see as strange, because ultimately what it means is I'm hard on fucking 35 years old and I've only had 2 relationships, cumulative of 4 years, I think. Yes, 4 years. And while I've been lonely and stuff, like, it's not all been bad. I've been through a lot of shit, and I'm ultimately glad for every single thing that's happened to me, because it's made me a better, stronger person. I authentically love people, like everybody. I think everybody has, well, everybody's just struggling with life, so, you know, we're all just doing the best we can with the capacity that we were given, and that's different for everybody. Like, yeah, these are the things, this is the feedback, right? So these are the things about myself that people are like, nah, you're weird. You talk a lot, you're loud. Apparently I'm like the queen of TMI, when I just think, like, what's so wrong with sharing information with another human? I'm sorry, are we not going through the same fucking thing? Like, do I have to hide the fact that see, and I'm filtering because I'm like ashamed to say these things and be myself, because right I was about to say something and I was like, oh fuck, who's gonna listen to this? I don't even know. Someone I really respect and I don't want them to think I'm weird, so I shouldn't say that. But isn't it the point of me doing this? To just be my fucking self? Filtering is a double-edged sword, Anyway, fuck, that was a big, long funny ass, oh, I hope it was at least somewhat entertaining, to say that I've met someone that is as weird as me. And when I thought about it, I was like, you just accept it. Whereas when I think of someone that's complicated, I go out of my way to like kind of analyze them and understand what makes them tick. I kind of make a study out of them because they're complicated. So I want to unravel the ball of yarn and understand why they do the things that they do. And this doesn't mean that I like these people. It just means that I find them extremely interesting. They're not weird. These are people who display like narcissistic tendencies where I'm like, wow, what happened in their life to make them behave this way? What are those underlying thoughts and feelings that are driving that behavior? They're super anxious or, and some of it is just them. Like, it's just their personality. But usually if you dig deep enough, like, you'll find out, it was the way their mother treated them, or, something that happened at school quite young, or just some experience that they had that just kind of knocked them back. These people are complicated. And I think that's true. I'm less likely to want to, these aren't people I necessarily want to be in a relationship with. I just find them so interesting. I want to analyze them. Whereas when I see someone, I'm like, oh, they're just fucking weird. And to me, that's a good thing. That's something to be celebrated. Especially for me, because what it means is I don't want to analyze them. I just want to appreciate their beautiful fucking oddities. And I love nothing so much as watching people, watching their mannerisms, and just observing their oddities, and just really appreciating the fact that we are all fucking glorious zebras. We all have had such different experiences and have so much to bring. We all are weird in our own ways. And in modern day society, this is my perception, I'll admit, we spend way too many hours of the day trying to be exactly the same as one another to fit some societal norm, because if we don't belong to the tribe, then it impacts our survival. It's a caveman lizard brain instinct. Fit in so your tribe will take care of you. But what happens with people like me, the unicorns of the world, where we do have a tribe, but we're just so fucking rare that when we find each other, we almost can't even believe it. And we're trying to have, meaningful relationships with people who don't understand us and never will. And I know that my life kind of changed when I realized, like, people aren't going to understand me. They're going to recognize that I'm not normal, that I'm weird, and they're either going to appreciate that about me, or they're not, they're not going to want to be around me because they just don't know what to do. They don't know how to wrap their heads around me. And they ultimately don't like me because, we're not relatable at that point in time. Like, humans connect through relatability. That's why I'm really only going to connect to another unicorn, to another totally weird ass person, because I see their weirdness and I'm like, oh yeah, I can connect with them. Whereas don't get me wrong, like I have heaps of friends that have kids and are married and stuff, but I'm always looking for that quirk to connect with them. I'm always looking for that. And we do this as people to connect with one another. Because I meet plenty of people who I just can't connect with. They've got 3 kids and they're all ballerinas and you know, they all, you know, they're soccer moms, and I'm just like, oh my God, you're living my fucking nightmare. I just want to go home and read a sci-fi novel and not even think about that. Or maybe tomorrow I just go online and see where the cheapest flights are and just leave for a week and go somewhere on a whim. Like, I just need that. To me, that life that is perceived to be normal is abnormal. It's hard to explain. Anyway, be fucking weird. Just be yourself. Be weird. The people who love you will accept it and love you all the more. And the people who don't get it don't fucking matter. And that might be me. Might be anybody. Might be your own fucking parents. Spend time with people who appreciate you for who you are. Now, if you don't know who you are, which is extremely common and takes a long time, then just spend some time with yourself. And that's what the rabbit hole is all about. I just had a great idea for an exercise to pack on to the rear end of that. Part of how, yes, we can spend time with ourselves to get to know ourselves, and that is quite confronting, and I can't fucking suggest it more. It's really powerful, reflecting on why we do what we do, but it is quite hard on people. So another good way to do that is to ask people that we trust for feedback. So I'm gonna put this challenge to myself, and I suggest everybody do this. Let's ask our closest friends and family members that we trust, and that is, you know, hear that, because even in that we might be a bit surprised what our answers are to who we do and do not trust but choose to give our time to, and that says a lot right there. But let's ask these people, what would they describe to be the weirdest thing about us? And just listen to what they have to say. Feedback is really important. We cannot develop without feedback. So whether that's self-reflection and feeding back to ourselves, or asking people that we love and trust for feedback, it takes practice. So part of that practice is to not get defensive and feel like they're attacking you. That's quite an important part. They won't give you honest feedback if they think that you are going to take it personally and get defensive, because people don't like to piss other people off, as a general rule of thumb. So yeah, just take it on board and know that these are things that they are seeing as weird about you, but they love you anyway. And if that can help us all accept that part of ourselves, then we will ultimately be better, more secure in ourselves, and, you know, be able to love ourselves on a deeper level and achieve, you know, a deeper level of self-acceptance through that. If I had to guess, I know exactly what one of my best friends would say is the weirdest thing about me. And that is, well, I'm making a big assumption, but I can only imagine that this is what they would say, I have conversations with the moon. Like serious conversations. So that is something that is, and I'm not ashamed of that. I know that makes me weird, but it doesn't ultimately change the fact that I've gotten some of my most mind-numbing epiphanies and realizations from those conversations. So I wouldn't give them up for anything. I don't fucking care how weird they make me. And is it just me probably talking to my subconscious? Yeah, almost certainly. But what fucking difference does it make? I get the realizations, and that's all that really matters, isn't it? So, yeah, there's a good challenge for all of us. Go out, ask the people that we love and trust. Start with one, and if you go all right without getting too butthurt about what they fucking tell you, ask for another one, and do some self-reflection and have a think about what are those beautiful oddities about us that make us zebras. Cool. Have fun.